Hello and welcome to the Knitting Traditions Podcast. My name is Inga and this is my little corner of the internet where I talk about my knitting. Today I have a regular podcast episode for you. It's the 1st of December and I have a little bit of knitting, not that much considering the time it's been since my last regular episode, but that is third trimester for you. But I do have some things to show and some plans that I thought we could talk about, something festive for those who celebrate. And yeah, settle in. I made myself a gingerbread cappuccino mix. It's espresso, powdered milk, hot cocoa, like powdered vanilla sugar cream or something, and then I added cinnamon, nutmeg, we call it nellik, different spices, a little bit of sea salt, and then I add a spoon of this mix with a spoon of decaf coffee and milk and hot water, and it's quite good. I can see if I can put it down below with the other things that I made to show you. First, what I'm wearing. I am wearing a pattern by Lerke Fiber Tales. This is the favo sweater, and I knit this up in Jennifer Knits LA cashmere. It's her blown yarn. You can see that it's pilling a little bit, but I wouldn't expect anything else from a 100% cashmere knit up at this loose of a gauge. I love this sweater. It's like putting on a warm hug, and now that it's snow outside and quite cool, it's the perfect garment to layer on top of dresses, which is what I mostly wear these days. And I made my version longer. It is supposed to be quite cropped, and it is still cropped, but I didn't want it to rise up all the way, so when I lift my hand it still covers my bra. And yeah, it's quite oversized, and it's the same patterning in the back, right? I'll just turn on, you can see. No, it's not the same in the back. There you see what I remember. Yeah, really love this yarn on this sweater pattern. And I think that if I were to have made like a white version in this yarn, like a cabled white sweater, that would be the ultimate Christmas cozy in a cold climate, that is. All right, next. I finished some things. Technically, I've shown them as finished objects before, but I hadn't done the finishing. There's something about attaching buttons and weaving in ends. I don't like it. But I did. Now, finally, 100 ends. This is the baby gingham. It's a pattern by Sandnes garn, and I made the smallest size in the Sunday yarn in more autumnal moody colors, which is more me. And then I also finally put buttons on the caramel cardigan delicate by Freya. This is a free pattern, and it's a twisted rib 1x1. There's a little English pattern mistake, but it's a 1x1 twisted rib for the neckline, cuffs, and bottom hem, as well as the button band. I use little wood buttons, and I use some nylon thread to several times go through it to make it nice and strong. And then there's a broken rib, fake rib, false rib pattern for the rest of it. It's quite cute. This is also the smallest size, so it's supposed to be for a newborn. I made it slightly longer. I think this is going to be very stretchy, so that's why I made it longer, so it can grow with the child. So she's getting 2 little sweaters when she comes out. And then If you watched my previous episode, which was not a podcast, but a Knit Fest Zurich acquisitions video, it's fine if you didn't watch it. I know it's not for everyone, but I did wear my newest finished garment, which is the Frere sweater, which is my pattern. I knit the size 3 for this with all the options in the patterns that call for the least amount of yarn. So cinch cuffs, crew neck option, the tapered body, which has some decreases. I made it also more cropped so that it wouldn't be over the widest point of my pregnant belly. So it's perfect for high skirts and dresses for me. And I used a sport weight yarn at a DK gauge, because this pattern is at a DK weight gauge, but you can use any yarn, probably from worsted and below. Some samples I've had lace held double. This is a sport. I use sport plus fingering for one that I will show you. And this beautiful yarn, I only needed 3 skeins of the Zakami. It's their alpaca sport weight air in the Waterfall of Memories colorway. And they should have kits up for this any second now if it's not already up. And this has been a dream both to knit with and wear, and surprisingly holds up really well. I thought there would be more pilling, but there isn't really any pilling to talk about, and I've been wearing this a lot. So great yarn base, and I hope to knit with it again in the future. This was gifted for me as a sample knit for the kits that we're putting together, so you can buy the yarn kit from them, the pattern from me, and I used less than recommended yarn for this because I modified it. I would have needed 4 skeins for the size 3 if I had done the regular length of the body or the other options. Normally I would knit the size 4 to have some positive ease. This is 0 ease on me right now. And for the 4th, I probably need 4, if not 5 skeins of yarn. This did go a long way compared to some of the other yarns that I've used, so it acted as a DK, very pleasantly surprised. And I used 4 millimeters to get gauge 21 stitches with this combination. And then just throw it over there. I finished the Aine socks, still haven't blocked them. I finished the socks themselves to be able to wear them when I went to Zurich, but I hadn't embroidered on the little twigs. I didn't bring that yarn with me. It felt wasteful to bring a whole ball of yarn just to do a little bit of embroidery, and they were perfectly wearable even without those little twigs, but they are very cute. So you need a crochet hook to do the twigs. Everything else is knitting, bobbles and stockinette. I find this pair of socks fits really well. I've made it before. I was a part of the test knit for Melody Hoffman, and I have the yarns with me. So this is a wool linen blend from Shopple Wool in a burgundy color, I think, and I have this much left after finishing 2 pairs of socks where I made the legs longer than in the pattern because I want this to stick out of my boots for the fall and winter. This is some scrap, or almost a full skein, of tukuwool fingering, the one without nylon. And this is one of my favorite sock yarns. This is the Rambler sock yarn from the Woolly Thistle. I'll leave my affiliate link below if you want to try it. I find this holds up really well for socks, and it feels nice on the feet. It's 100% wool sock yarn, so there is no nylon in this, and it's non-superwash. And I've used it for the heels and toes, as well as some colorwork striping on another pair of socks that I've made. And I still have enough left, since this was just a few grams, to make another pair of socks. So that's in the future. And let's put that in there. I've almost finished my knit along with knit collage. So if you've been following, you saw that I finished the first petal of a pillow. This is the daisy pillow, and it is knit in their spun cloud. So you need 2 skeins of the main color and 1 skein of the contrast. And you don't really use that much of the contrast, so I do have quite a bit left, but the white definitely did use up a lot more. I think this is French vanilla and this is olive. And I love how it has a little bit of gold stellina spun around the spun cloud. I use 10mm needles. I think that's a US 12. Don't quote me on that. They're recommended. And I knit up so fast, 1 or 2 evenings per petal for me. And I finished the other petal. And like last time I showed it, it's on a blocking mat. Not vigorous blocking, just trying to shape the petals to be really nice and round. And it's dry now, I think, or almost completely dry, because I just finished it yesterday. And I need to get some stuffing. I thought I had stuffing, but I think I've used it for toys that I've made for Nelly, so I need to get some more. And I could order it online, but I think I want to check out my local craft stores, yarn stores first, support them if they have some. And if not, I'll get some online. I could use scrap yarn as well, but there is a bit of gaping, especially the parts of the petals which are knit flat and not in the round. So I think I don't want to put other colored yarn inside this pillow. I want some neutral white filling for it. So really exciting. I'm looking forward to stuffing it and sewing it together. I think it should go by really quickly, and then I have a new pillow. So that will be very fun. I think Nelly's gonna like it. And then I have been doing quite a bit of knitting since last time, on one project in particular. It doesn't look like much because it's a little bit boring what I'm doing right now, but I'll show you sitting on it. Shouldn't sit on it. This big WIP right here is a long-term project. It's been my car knitting, and in the past when I showed you, I had seamed together 3 panels. So the center panel is this right here. This is the center panel, which I knit first, and then I knit 2 of these panels, which are quite pretty. They're not that wide, so I felt like it didn't take that long, and there's something happening. It's a more interesting cable. Did not enjoy the bobbles of the center very much, so I preferred these panels. And then, since I talked about this previously, I finished the edge panel. So I'm making 2 of these panels, and they were originally not supposed to be this wide, but I want this to be a big blanket, and right now it's not very wide. So I added some stitches because this side panel is very simple. It's a similar cable to what's in my Frere sweater, but they alternate directions, so they create this instead. So when I do this, so if I hold it at wingspan, it reaches my chin, and then over here, and then there's going to be another one of these. So it's going to be a full from tip to tip of my fingers when I hold it up, if that makes sense. So I've finished one of these side panels. It's a very simple repetitive stitch pattern, so it's a very portable project in that sense. I don't need to look at a chart or anything. And I'm keeping the other one in here. This bag is from Unicat London with the cutest little mushroom on it. And in it I have what would probably be my, is it my third or fourth cone? 1, 2. I think it's actually just my third or fourth cone of wool in it. They're Aine weight, natural cream colorway. This yarn was gifted to me from Wool in It. I've knit with a lot of the yarns before. Many of the cones behind me are from them. It's just a really good, affordable 100% wool yarn. And it's the first time that I'm knitting with their Aine weight. It's quite similar to their British wool, which is a 4-ply. To me, it doesn't look like an Aine. I would say it looks more like a DK to worsted, but it will bloom quite a bit. And I'm actually not sure if I blocked. I can't remember. Maybe you remember if you watched my podcast before. I don't remember if I have blocked the first pieces. I have a vague inkling that I might have, because it seems like it's bloomed more than the piece that I just finished. And it seems slightly lighter in color. And it's not like it's been lying in direct sunlight, so I don't think that's the reason. And when I picked it up again, I was knitting with the same cone, and it does look different, so I don't think it's a dye lot issue. So yeah, I might have washed it, and I counted the stitches that I knit in rows for the other panels, and I knit the same rows for this, and this is looking shorter. So I think I must have blocked it, or the fact that there's a little bit of rib rows in between here cinches it together. I'm just going to block it out. I'll make it work. And I am working on the last panel. I am about 1/3 through this one. I would really, really like to have this done for Christmas, or at least before the baby comes, because I want to have it on the bed upstairs. But it's not something that has to happen, but it would be nice if it were to happen. And the pattern for this is the Fisherman's Afghan from this book right here. This is how it's going to look with tassels in the end. And the book I bought on eBay because it is vintage. It's from the Ultimate Book of Knit Afghans. I saw this on Brooke Willow's podcast and I fell in love. So yeah. So that is that. Another thing that I've been knitting on. My battery is running low, so we will move on. The other thing I'm knitting on is Living in this beautiful bag from the Knitting Swan. I'm an affiliate member of her, so I'll put the link below. If you buy something, I get 10% off. I like to say this to be fully transparent about my affiliations. And in here I have a very exciting WIP, which I would ideally also like to have done like yesterday. And it is my 4th version of the Aime slipover. And if you saw the previous Knit Fest episode, I changed yarns for this because I got new yarn at the festival. I bought some beautiful merino from Save the Yarn and some silk mohair from a Portuguese stand, which was very close to it. And I will put the info about that one below because it was a Portuguese name which I cannot pronounce or remember, and it's not in my bag right here now. So I'll put that below. And I did some modifications. I've knit this pattern before, three other times. And my favorite version is the one that is bigger than intended, because this is a one size fits all. And one size does not fit all, but it's easy to modify because the back is just a rectangle. You can just add more stitches and then make sure you increase to the same amount of stitches in the front, or less if you want. I'm using a yarn combination that is thicker than intended. It's supposed to be sandnes garn Sunday and silk mohair, and the Sunday is 235 meters to 50 grams, and the Save the Yarn Matilda base, which is this one, is 180 meters, and I'm holding it with a silk mohair, so it's thicker. I'm using the recommended 3.5 millimeter needles. I'm not going down for the ribbing except for the neckline. I'll go down for the neckline, but for the bottom hem, I don't want it to cinch in too much, and the same for the bows and the ribbing on the side. I don't want it to cinch in, so I'm just knitting it on 3.5. And I added 8 more stitches to make it wider. I'm knitting the width of the ribbed bands as recommended, but I am doing 10 stitches less for like the added on edges that you'll tie with on the side as a bow, just because I find I don't need the full length because it will stretch quite a bit when you tie it over time. So I did 10 stitches left for each of the side pieces, and I am hoping to have enough yarn. I was definitely gonna run out. I finished the back and the front while I was on my trip, and I saw that I had, how many did I use? 1, 2, 3. I think I'd used almost 3 balls of yarn. I had 1 more left, and it does use quite a lot of yarn for those side pieces and the neckline. So I messaged the beautiful Danish lady behind Save the Yarn and asked if she had any more left of this dye lot that I had bought at the festival. And she checked and very generously sent me a ball of it, along with a ball of the Dorte base, which I had also bought from her at the festival, quite a few skeins. And I was so grateful because now I don't have to worry about the other project that I'm going to be making of running out, because I wanted to make both a slipover and a hat is the plan for this. So this is a cashmere. It's 90 meters, so it's quite thick for 25 grams. So I guess technically it should be the same. It looks thicker because this is 180 to 50 grams. If I were to squish these, I wouldn't be able to tell which one is cashmere because they are so soft, both of them. So if you want to buy some beautiful fiber, which is affordable because this is using recycled fiber from like the Italian fashion industry and such, it's affordable prices, good for the environment to recycle, and extremely soft and beautiful colors. So there is that. I will link her below. And I'm currently just binding off, but I fell asleep sitting. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately with my pains in the back and pelvis, but this is how far I got binding off before I fell asleep like this. So that's on the agenda today, to finish this off and start the second one. And I'm thinking I should have enough. I think I will have to break into that ball to finish off the second one, but then the rest will go into the neckline, and it will be either a mock neck or a turtleneck. I will knit until I've used up all the yarn. So that is that. And then I have some other projects that I've been working on. If you saw episode 115, I'm running a giveaway with Babylon Leather. They're an online site where you can buy kits to make your own leather purses, and they have a huge range of kits. I've made one of their purses before and I use it every day. I bring it to work because it's nice and sturdy and really good quality. And we are running a giveaway both on YouTube, and I'll also be posting on Instagram, so there's 2 chances to win. If you comment the word bag on episode 115, so not this episode, but the episode 115, I'll see if I can add a link either here or below. I will draw a winner, at Christmas, and the first episode I record after that, I will announce the winner on screen here, so no scam or robots below is gonna ask you for any information. I'll announce the winner on screen, and then you can choose a kit from Babylon Leather worth up to $300 US. And I'm having a really good time. I started my second purse, and this one is a lot fewer or easier stitching than the previous bag I made. That was quite detailed, and I'm having a little bit of joint pain, so their customer support is really nice, and I asked for some tips. I sent over a few screenshots of the bags that I liked and asked which one would be the easiest to sew up, and this was recommended. This is the lined leather Picatinny bag DIY kit, and this is the brown and caramel version. So there's a video tutorial where they both speak and there's subtitles. I like to sew on this while I watch other things on TV, so I just use the subtitles one and pause it for each step. And all the info is in the video, so I don't find it hard at all. I am not a person who sews. I'm a beginner, and it's not hard. Everything is included in the kit. You only need a lighter to sort of burn the little edges when you cut them so that they don't fray. And I was a bit worried when I knit or sewed up the first bag that it would still fray and unravel. It hasn't, and it's really stood the test of time, being with me everywhere and flying and stuffed with things. So until now, I have assembled this little piece, and these two big pieces have been sewn together. And then I also sewed together this piece. And I think according to the video, I'm about or almost halfway. I have some straps and stuff to attach. I need to attach this side of the bag, and I need to attach the bottom. So really enjoying the process. And this time I figured out what this little white things in the bag is for. You put them on your fingers, and it gives you quite a good friction to pull the needle through the pre-made holes. So that made my life a lot easier. Last time I was using those little rubber things in the interchangeable needle sets they used to tighten the needles, and this basically does the same, but it's easier because it's on your hands at all times. So really enjoying this. If you want to win a kit right bag, like I said, in 115 episode, you can also use my Knitting Traditions for 10% off. That will give you 10% off, and it's not a time limited. So whenever in the future you're interested, you can use that for a 10% discount. I'll put my affiliate link below. And they're also running a sale now until the 5th of December, and you can add those two, so you can do the sale, which I think is 30%. I'll write it here if it's not. And then you can add the Knitting Traditions coupon to give you another 10% off. So it's a good time if you want to get some for Christmas, either for yourself or someone you love who you think might enjoy making their own bag. And I'll probably make more in the future because it's hard to choose from all the pretty bags that they have. Another little acquisitions to show is a thrifted one. In Norway, we have several secondhand stores. A big chain of them is called Fretex. And I'll be honest, I find the prices of the things ridiculously expensive, especially this one at the cabin. They sell things secondhand with holes and stains for more than what you would buy it new sometimes, which beats the whole purpose, I find. And they're also donated these things for free. So, but that's another rant for another time. I think it would more people would buy secondhand if it was more affordable. Anyways, they do have a lot of nice knitted garments that you could purchase. And I saw this cardigan and I absolutely fell in love because these are the kind of colors that I would love to have in a cardigan. And I mean, this is what I want. And now I don't have to knit it myself. I don't know what kind of yarn it is. It seems thicker than a fionnull, so like maybe a DK weight yarn. And they were selling this for 500 kroners, which on one hand is cheaper than what the yarn would cost, and now I don't have to knit it. But it has some food stains on it and several holes that I need to mend. But I've done that before. I bought another cardigan there. It had some holes and I fixed it. So I found one on the sleeve here that's unraveled, snapped and unraveled. It's quite thin worn. So I'm gonna look and see if I have a similar color. Doesn't need to be exact. I'm not fuzzy about it. It's part of the charm. And I will fix this and maybe do some duplicate stitches over the area, which is very thin worn, so it doesn't happen again. It'll be visible, but that's okay. There's another unraveled one on the bottom here in the color work, which I'll have to, again, do the same. And there was some more. I think almost every buttonhole is this close to unraveling because the yarn is very worn. So I'm going to do some duplicate stitching around those as well. And I might change the buttons for some wooden ones. I haven't quite decided. But this is not something that needs to be fixed right now. I did point out to the lady in the store that it had several holes in it, and I thought it was a bit steep to pay $50 for it when it needed to be mended, or it will just fall apart. So I did get a bit of a discount. So I will be enjoying this. Maybe this will be a cabin project next year to fix it up and then have a nice little cardigan. The sleeves were also a bit short for me. I'm quite long, tall, wide, long arms. So I'm gonna block it. It seems a tiny bit felted, but still movable fabric. So I'm just gonna block those sleeves a little bit longer and it'll be perfect. So saving a secondhand garment. And then I did go to Strasbourg. So let's section into first do plans before Christmas and then some acquisitions. Plans wise, Matthias helped me get our decorations down from the attic. And I noticed that I've only knit 2 Christmas stockings. I thought I had knit 3, and in my head I was like, oh, I need to make a 4th one for the baby, but she's gonna be born after Christmas, so I have time. And then I saw that I have only knit 2. So now I really want to make a 3rd one so that me, Matthias, and Nelly have one each before Christmas. And I don't know what happened here. I think I made 2 different sizes and probably the gauge was different. But I will put the names of these stockings below in the description box because I don't remember them on the top of my head. And I'll go through my scrap stash because I think I have some of the yarns left over from these 2 and hopefully get started on a 3rd one and have it done by Christmas. That's a little goal of mine, along with finishing the blanket and finishing my Frere sweater, the Christmas edition version that I've been knitting in fionnull and silk mohair from Sandnes. So fionnull is from Rama. It's a sport weight. It's 175 meters to 50 grams, and the silk mohair from Sandnes garn is a silk mohair wool blend. And I couldn't finish this because I got pregnant and I got an aversion to, I don't know, mohair or something. and I was feeling sick, but I really want to have this done for Christmas. I'm knitting the size 4, so it's going to be nice and roomy over the belly. I have started the cables on the body, so it really is just a matter of prioritizing. Finishing the body, the sleeves will go very quickly because after doing cables every single stitch around, every other row, just doing the stockinette with 2 cables running underneath it is a lot quicker. And I want to have it for Christmas. So that is a December plan. Will I be able to do it? I don't know. I was also feeling a bit sorry for myself, being in a bit of pain. So I have ordered some advents that I'll be opening during December. I'm not sure if I'll be doing a advent project or if I'll just open it as a treat and then look forward to making something with it later. But I bought one from Jule from Woolen Twine, who I love, and I met her in Zurich. And then I bought one from Zakami, which hasn't arrived yet. It was not the pre-order. They had like a few kits left and I managed to buy one. So hopefully it'll be here soon. It's the 1st of December today. Oh, wow, I can open advents today. Yeah, but like I said, I don't have a plan to like start knitting on an advent project today. It's more like a treat to myself to motivate me to go through my days with no sleep and problems walking. So that is that. And then I got some cones when I went to Strasbourg. So it's a tiny village in France, just like a 3-hour train ride from Zurich. And me and my cousin went there. And we went to La Droguerie. I'm probably butchering the name. You can see it there, I hope. So this is a French yarn store. They sell coned yarns, and they also sell kits, and they will wind off cakes of yarn for the quantity that you need. However, I don't want that. I want the cone because I usually buy for sweater quantities anyway, and they also have cones of different weights. So you pay for the weight, and if you buy the whole cone, you get 10% off. So love that. And also no ends to weave in, because if you do the cakes, you have to break the yarn. You'll have more ends to weave in. So I bought cones, and I bought this sweater's quantity of their Sur Naturel. And though that was the alpaca, where is... I had little cheat sheets for these. Yes. So the Sur Naturel is 100% merino superfine, really nice and soft, and they had some good colorways in this. You can see the name. I bought Finul from Rauma to make the camellia sweater for me and my partner, and hopefully I have enough in that to make it for both of us. But I do know that Matthias is a little bit more sensitive than me to natural yarns, and this is a lot softer. So I bought a sweater quantity in this base, again thinner than what's supposed to be in the pattern, but I'll just modify it for my gauge. And then I got a smaller cone for the flowers. And I calculated how much I would need, subtracted the weight of the cones, because they have that information in the store. And I think the cardboard is 30 grams and the plastic ones are 50 grams. And I got this for the other color. And then I couldn't decide if I wanted to have these 2 colors or if I wanted one of the flowers to be white. So I got a sweater's quantity in the white, thinking that it could work for flowers in this, or it could be a garment of its own. And I bought some alpaca yarn from Juniper Moon Fibers at the Zurich Knit Fest Festival. And I was thinking if I hold it with the merino, it might give it a little bit more structure so it's less drapey than the 100% alpaca on its own. So that was the idea behind these purchases. Yeah. And then I have a thing for the deep dark burgundies right now, and this is so soft that I needed to take it home with me. This is the alpaca, 100% alpaca, and there is information in the back here, it's all French, and I don't speak French, but it's 100% alpaca. And when I went to Paris 3 years ago, wow, time flies, I bought 2 other colors, like a dark gray charcoal and more of a brownish gray. So I have 3 colors of it, and yes, I might be a little bit of a yarn hoarder, but it will become beautiful things, I promise. And then I also got a small one of the Deuce Highland to make garments for the baby and Nelly, or a baby blanket, which is 100% Highland wool, I guess. Pure Laine Pygmy. There. And they had in the basement a really interesting recycled corner. This is the Rebelle 100% recycled fibers. It's a huge one, but it's not that heavy. It's quite a airy fiber. And it's silk, linen, cotton, wool, and polyamide blend. And I got this big boy right here to make pillows. I want to make cabled pillows, so just a square piece, and then either sew a fabric to the back or knit a plain one. And I'm not sure how much of this is going to be used up. I think I'm going to use quite a bit of it to make a cabled cover. So if I don't have a lot, I will use something else for the back. And if it does let me do 3 pillows front and back, I will use it for the whole entirety of it. But this is quite a thick one. It's 50 meters to 50 grams on this one right here. And it's a nice little heathered, neppy thing. So this was on my list to do before Christmas, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to have the time the way that it's going right now. So that's it for that. And I also have a little thing to show you. I used my yarn spinner from Spring's Fantasy during my whole trip. And then on the plane flight back, I had mounted my yarn on it and it was in my seat. I went to the toilet, and then me being pregnant and off balance, I sort of fell into my seat as I was sitting down onto this. And the poor little thing just did not survive the weight of my bum. So it broke. But I have super glued it together. So I'm hoping that the super glue is strong enough, and I managed to check that I am able to screw it on. I tried not to use too much super glue so that the inner structure of it is still standing. So I'll be trying it out again, and hopefully it does definitely have a weak point now, but I'll be careful not to put it in my seat anywhere I'm sitting down to avoid that happening again. But I really like it, and I will put a link below because I actually do highly recommend this. I was gifted it, but I would also purchase it again because it is genius for traveling or even just knitting on the couch. I like to walk in it, so I have the dangling on my arm things, but this is just perfect for when you're sitting down and you don't want your yarn to flop everywhere. So, yeah. I think I have mentioned all the things that I had to mention, and I have 1% of battery left, so I will check out now. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're knitting all the things that make you happy. Write me on Instagram if you want to have a chat or leave a comment below. I appreciate every single comment, and it makes my day. And I hope if you celebrate that you have a lovely Advent season ahead. And I will check back soon. Bye!